you good, you are more than good. If I say you nice, you are more than nice. If I say you awesome, you are more than that. The only way I can describe you, Lord, you're so biggie, 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 biggie. My God is so biggie, biggie, everyone. Biggie, biggie, Jesus, you are mighty, oh, biggie, biggie, biggie. Only because you are biggie, 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 biggie. You are big, hello, Timmy Lala. Biggie, biggie, my God is so big, biggie, 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 biggie. Oh, when I look at this scene, very big. When I look at this world, very big. Hi, everybody. When I look beyond this world, it's so big. Then how big is our God? I don't know. It makes me wonder. His God is full of wonder. He owns the sky without a pillar. His God is an omega. Let us bow before him. Now we have entered him. The only way I can describe you, Lord. That's so biggie, 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 biggie. My God is so big. Hi, everybody. Hello, everyone. God is indeed a big God. He's a big God. Okay. Mr. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, Miss Illinois Sanctuary. Y'all, listen. See, I'm just getting my praise on. Y'all want to bring the, want to take the Jesus out of me. Because y'all, I know what you're talking about. You beat the clock. I knew it. I knew. I was like, okay, if nobody says anything, those two ladies are like, what happened? What happened to her? Hi, everybody. Yep. She's on time today. Miracles happen. Jesus is still in the business of miracles. Even I can make it on time. Don't bank on it on Tuesday, because let's take it one show at a time. One show at a time. We don't know. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Say hello. This is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, aka Sisi lawyer. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. That's the one and only. The only Sisi immigration lawyer. Yep. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Today is a great day. Today is, I'm telling you, I'm being on cloud line. Like, even just when you think there's nothing God cannot do, but just when you think you've seen what you think is like big, and then God shows you something bigger, and they're like, oh, okay, let me just be quiet and sit my butt here. And hi, everyone. Come on in. Say hello when you come in. This is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Miracles know they tired Jesus. Better say it one more time for the people at the back to hear. Though, no matter how big the challenge is, no matter how big the challenge is, God remains bigger than those challenges. Because 𝒑𝒂𝒔𝒔𝒊𝒕. I mean, yes, God remains bigger than those challenges. When people's cases are denied, and you think, this case, it's amazing because I remember, I think I consulted with him last year, and his case had been denied. And he was like, you know what, I'm just going to give up on it. And I was like, let's do VAR. Let's just give it one shot. Let's give it one shot, and if it doesn't work out, you try. Let's give it one shot. Then we filed in March of this year. When God shocks you, you understand beyond anything that it's not anything that I know how to do, because at the end, God is not going to come down physically. He's going to use people. And as long as we're all willing to be used by him, I think that's what matters. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get denounced. Like I said, it comes with the territory. It is what it is, and I'm not one to take cases that are easy. Anyone who works with me or knows me, I don't enjoy easy cases. I just don't. Anyone can sit down and do an easy case by themselves. You don't need my help. But something that challenges my brain. Hello, good morning, it's not for sure. There's a reason behind it. When those things are almost impossible, those are the things that make my adrenaline level go up. Like, okay, let's see. But we thank God.
We thank God. God remains faithful. He will shock you that you would know. Bible says all may see and know and consider altogether that his hand alone has done this. This is a typical case that God's hands alone have done this. Nothing beyond that. That is just what it is. And to him be all the glory. So if you need to contact us, our number is 334-341-4475. And send us a text on the same number on WhatsApp as well. Visit our website. Y'all, our website is very, very easy to navigate. And there's tons of information, testimonials for people. If you go on Google, there are also people who give us 1-star review, which is okay. It's just part of it. You can't please everybody, but when God speaks on your behalf, you don't worry about such things. But we'll be honored and glad to help you through your immigration process. And we represent immigration clients in all 50 states. So it doesn't matter what state you live in, as long as you have an immigration case. Yes, please don't forget to share this live with your friends and family. You never know who would need this information. I'm looking at, so we have this, listen, we have this group chat for the four of us. By four of us, I mean my ex-husband and SJ and TJ. So I'm seeing the boys were going back and forth. I was just laughing. Like, and see still that they're still going at it. I'm telling you. But listen, I have no energy. I've shouted. I've praised God. I've worn myself out today. So let's just get right into it. Once again, our contact is 334-341-4475. Follow, like, share, subscribe, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Olaleye Immigration. Thank you, Ms. Avena. Hello, Potato Others. Good to meet you today. Follow us on all platforms. Subscribe to YouTube channel. Lots and lots of information. Welcome on board, everybody. Tonight we're going to do questions. And since I was going to, okay, I travel. I travel. So I know we missed 2 weeks. So Tuesday we did national interest waiver. We've got lots of DMs for the link. If you guys just put in, thank you, Miss Ellen. If you put in EB2 national interest waiver in Google, it should take you to that link. If not, we'll be more than happy to help you to send you the link. No big deal. We'll do that for you. All right, people, let's talk immigration. Okay, so tonight is all about questions. Y'all need to put the questions up now because listen, I really have worked myself up and just been shouting and praising God that I've worked myself tired. So, and if you hear the silence in my house, like, listen, crickets. TJ, wala do ba be? Wala do ba be? So, like, but he'll be back tomorrow. Let me roll my eyes again. Cause yeah, he's half the reason why I have gray hair. Anyway, come on in. We talked about it like, but I wouldn't change him for anything in the world. He is the life of the party of our family. Anyway, all right, people, bring on your questions. Come on in. Say hello when you come in. Shags at day. Hi, how are you doing? Let's see. He is indeed a big God, a big God. He is. Hello. What form should I fill out after approval of I-130 filing for my parents in Nigeria? Ayodeji, you need to sit down with a lawyer if you're asking what forms to fill out. Sometimes, like I always say, don't be penny wise, pound foolish. Make sure you get it right, because the last thing you want is to mess up your case. But if you're generally, disclaimer, nothing is specific to anyone's case. Questions are going to have general responses. Anything specific to your case, you've got to set up a proper paid consultation. So if your parents, or if you're petitioning for parents, they're not in the country, or a relative generally not in the country, that means they will have to consular process at the embassy. And so you're going to be filling out a DS-260. But if you're not sure, make sure you sit down with a lawyer and assess your case, and at least have the information you need. And it's very important. Y'all have to understand it's very important. I had a consultation with someone today that they consulted with an immigration consultant, um, and the person filed asylum for them, but told them they could not get a green card through asylum. Told them, however, that they can get a green card faster and adjust their status by the guy's brother filing for him. That's incorrect information. You cannot get a green card faster through your sibling, because that's the longest category. Like, it's taking upwards of no less than 13 years to get the immigrant visa, number one. Number two, if you've been out of status in the United States, you can't adjust status based on being in F4 preference category. But then conversely, their asylum that's pending, if it's approved, that's going to be a much faster, straightforward way for them to get a green card. And he was grateful for that information. So you've got to make sure that you have the right information regarding your case. It's absolutely important that you do. Okay, so tonight is all about questions. If you're joining us, this is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, immigration attorney, aka Sisi lawyer. Welcome, 𝐸𝐿𝐺. Welcome, 𝐸𝐿𝐺. Welcome, 𝐸𝐿𝐺. All right. Okay. So as this is an immigration lawyer, well, that's what we're doing tonight. I'm starting on Facebook. I will go on TikTok and Instagram, and if we have enough time, we'll circle back around. We'll see. Hi, Best. How are you? What is the duration of the I-130 approval? What do you mean by duration of the I-130 approval? Are you asking, to put your question another way, are you asking if it has an expiration date? Is that what you're asking? Let me know if that's what you're asking, so I know how to answer that question. Okay. I want someone to book a consultation with you, but will he be able to speak to you specifically when? Yes. So when I was gone, and y'all have to help me out, y'all, because I had another attorney to fill in, and when they told people that, hey, I was gone and it was going to be someone else, nobody, so y'all did not book with her. Can you, you have to understand that if I'm going to allow someone to if you're going to call my office and talk to somebody else, you have to be rest assured that I can vouch for them to some extent. And I understand, and I'm honored and humbled by the vote of confidence. Because, okay, in the last 4 days, I think I have done no less than 30 consults. And, that's a lot for one person. But I understand, but we're going to start easing that out. But, Kay, yeah, that's fine. It's still going to be, if they book the link, they can either call our office or go on the website and do that themselves. The link just has my calendar for now. We've changed it back. But I will let people know, and it would very specific, the name of the attorney to see, because it gets to a point that, like I always say, I'm a full-time mother, and then I practice law in my spare time. Oldest kid heading to college, little baby starting 8th grade, everything happening next week. So that's my priority before anything else. So, okay. Good evening, Natasha. How are you? All right, let me go on. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, if you will come back and clarify if that's what you're asking, so that I can respond to your question. Let's see. Hi from Ilori. Oh, really? So you had a bio. Hello. So I went to University of Ilori. So it's there. I say, I think University of Ilori actually was voted yeah, no, I'm not even kidding now. I think it was voted the best university if someone can remember when, not too long ago, or maybe it's still the best university. Ain't they like Union like Europe? Union like is the all, end all be all kind of thing. No, it's not. Just saying. Because I call us Union like what? Here we are. Yeah, she for that Union like what? We thank the Lord above. So hello from me, Laurie. Val, everybody in there. Shawa, fa. Because I remember I used to say fa a lot in school. Can you call fa? It was just, yeah. Christina, what's your question? Does living separately from your husband due to work affect my chance for green card? That is a very case specific question. It would just depend on what your explanation is. I've had cases like that, and we've not had any problem because we were able to show that. Anyway, what's that? We were able to show that the spouses when they were not working, thank you, Ms. Ernest Sanctuary, they made it back to the marital residence on the off days. So you don't want a situation where you say you're living together because you're working, but there's no one who's constantly working 24/7, 7 days a week. That's reality. You go to the bathroom, you eat, right? You sleep. So there's got to be some days where you are up, and if you're not going back home to spend that time with your spouse, then that's where the issue lies. Thank you, Mr. Incognito. Do I get work and travel document with prima facie after filing for VAW? Prima facie doesn't come automatically with work and travel document. That's prima facie is just them telling you that your case has been initially reviewed and it's deemed to meet on face value, it's approvable, but we're still going to work on it and we'll let you know when we make a decision. That's separate from your work and travel document. Okay, let's see. After filing for work authorization, how long does it take to come out? USCIS.gov/processing times. That would give you an estimated time frame for what USCIS, how long it takes USCIS to process specific applications. Okay. Okay, I'll let that populate and I'll come back there. Hello, Mr. Jude. How are you? Happy birthday in advance. Thank you. I sent you an email long ago. So if you sent me an email within the last 2 weeks, please resend that email. I'm not kidding, y'all. I have over 1,000 emails within the last 2 weeks that I was gone to still sift through. So, and the way Gmail works now, I know you can ungroup it. It just makes it even worse where it groups a lot of emails. So if you're waiting on a response and I have a policy. If you've sent me an email, please do not repeat another email within 72 hours because then the 72 hours starts from the second or the last email you send me. Got a policy, I respond to emails within 72 hours. For the most part, I'm really, really quick in responding to emails. But if I don't put in a system where I have set time for different things, then I would never get any work done. So, but if it's been more than 72 hours, you sent me an email, please resend that email. It's probably because I still have not gotten to it. And most likely you probably sent it to me about over a week ago because what I'm going through are immediate emails, and then as I get time, I'm going through all the older emails. Please resend the email to me. I would really, really appreciate it. It's not like I'm ignoring the email. I just haven't had time to get to it. So, Mr. Jude, please resend that email or just forward the one you sent. And so it will be a new one. I'll be able to see it and respond to that. If someone got their green card through VA based on an LPR for 30 years, I go by 10-year green card, but we're still legally married. How long can I wait for citizenship? So if your spouse never filed for citizenship, then you would have to wait 5 years after you got your 10-year green card to qualify. You're going to wait, qualify for 5 years, qualify based on 5 years. You're eligible to file 90 days before the 5th year anniversary. I have a VA prima facie. Can I go to Miami? What does the prima facie have to do with travel? Can my, oh, I just remembered something. I saw somebody's name and I just remembered that I have someone else supposed to respond to. See, yeah. Thank you for saying your name. Can my U.S. citizen child file for me, and must we stay together in the same state for him to petition for me? As long as your child is at least 21 years old, your child has to be 21 years or older. There is no requirement that you have to stay together. Now, if the child is your biological child, yes, that's pretty straightforward. If the child is your stepchild, then there are some additional requirements and all that. But the main thing is your child has to be 21 years at the very least. Will I get into trouble if my VA gets approved when I'm outside U.S.? I want to travel outside the U.S. with my parole. There is no getting in trouble outside when you're outside U.S. if your case gets approved. As long as you have a valid advance parole, getting approved when your VA petition is approved, that's the first stage. The advance parole is connected to your green card application, which is the I-485. The VA petition gets approved, then you still have to deal with your I-485 being processed. And so as long as that is still pending and it's not denied, then your advance parole is valid, then you should be fine. Generally. Don't know about your case, but that's how that goes. How safe is it to travel internationally on advance parole, like combo cards, while adjustment of status is pending? There are no criminal records. I'm sure you guys have heard me say several times that as long as the only issue you're facing is the unlawful stay, which you've overstayed your initial status, and you came in legally, then generally, I just remembered I got. Probably feature. You see, generally, you should be able to come back in. Generally, I'm not talking about your case. If you have an attorney in your case, talk to your lawyer about your case. I'm in a better position to advise my clients because I'm working on their case. I know their history, but one thing I would say is most people who come back into the country with advanced parole will usually be placed in secondary inspection. Not that you've done anything, but sometimes they have to just confirm with USCIS in their system that you indeed have a pending case. It hasn't been denied, whatever, yada, 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 all that good stuff. Okay. What are some of the questions former asylees should be aware of during a citizenship interview? You can set up a consultation and we can discuss that. Let's see. I'm going to get to Instagram. Let me just go through this again. All right, so this is where I stopped. How long does it take to get travel documents via biometrics? How long does it take to get travel documents via? I don't understand that question. So must prima facie be approved first before I can apply for work permit? One doesn't have anything to do with the other. I'm out of status and I'm married to a green card holder and she refuses to come live with me. So what's your question? Okay, and if you're green card, she's refusing to come live with me. Can I do a VAR? Well, the thing is, VAR requires you to have shared residence. Basically, what that means is VAR requires that you have lived together with the abuser at some point. So if you've never lived together, you don't qualify for VAR. I did love. Good evening. How are you? When you apply for asylum, how do you get an interview when your case has been pending for a year? Shakina, you're not the only one waiting for an interview with asylum cases. It's ridiculous at this point. It really truly is ridiculous at this point. There are people waiting. I have cases pending since 2018. That's 5 years. It's and I have some cases that we've done expedited requests. Half of those requests are denied, and the other half, or I want to say 40%, we get them as long as it falls within the grounds by which you can ask to expedite your interview. But if you have a basis to ask them to expedite your interview, then you can try that. But you're not alone. How was that case? How was that the case got approved in 4 months, 5 months? Not 4. I saw Insta post. God. I'm just, that's what it is. There's nothing I can say all outside of it was just God. It was just God. And because I'm a lot of things going in my head, I'm laughing because there's some things you just don't understand. And I can't begin to explain how God works because I don't. But I just don't understand that some things would shock you back into reverence of God and let you know and know it's not anything you know. It's just when God decides. It's not that God favors all of us, but he chooses to show us favor at different times. That's the way I see it. And so I can't take credit for anything. No. I was just an instrument that God used in this case that encouraged somebody not to give up. And if the only thing is, if I was talking to him today, like if nothing else, hopefully I can use that to encourage other people. Like, hey, I can't guarantee you anything, but this happened to somebody, so you never know. Just give it a shot. Now, if your case is not worth a shot at all, I'll tell you too. Like, don't waste your money. But who knows? U.S. citizen filed I-130 for spouse, December 2022. Shows 3 weeks till decision is made. Is that right, Tom? I don't know. Just wait and see what happens. All right. Okay. So let's go to Instagram. Hello, people. Oh, for those who don't know, my birthday's coming up. I already told you birthday behavior all month. All month. So this girl is going to be 45 by God's grace. 45. Timi Lola is grooving. Keep grooving, Timi Lola. I'm telling you. Yes, Miss Eleanor Sanctuary, I beat the clock today. In your face. Now what? Let me do the TJ for you. So my my kid. Show him what TJ. I can't remember what it was we're talking about. I know if I said it on Tuesday. And then and the kid can argue. I have to tell like, hey, listen, I brought you into this world and I can take you out when I feel like you don't stand and argue. Nigeria, I would knock your teeth out, but Nigeria, I can knock his teeth out. And then the kid is bigger than me. So, there's only so much I can do. And I was saying something and he kept quiet and he goes, well, I guess you're going to have to do you. Sherry, I know when someone says something, and you're too shocked to even respond. Well, I guess you're going to have to do you. You hear me? Like me. Like you're talking to your African mother. America Mashuro. Because can anybody imagine telling their Nigerian mother? I can't even imagine telling my mother, you do you. Can you money more? Do you do you? It's a for me. Let's see. It's gonna be a favored month. And just all I'm asking is y'all just join me in faith. Agree with me in faith that it's gonna be a great month. That those challenges, like I said earlier, that seemed impossible. Let's remember that our God remains bigger than anything we may face. It's gonna be a favored month. Hello, Miss in the sanctuary. Hello, God's favorite. How are you? God is indeed good. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Let's see. God remains bigger. What a testimony. Yes. Yes, he does. Yeah, don't forget to share this video, please, because some of these questions. Thank you. It's Abena. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok at 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 Immigration on all platforms. We represent immigration clients in all 50 states of the United States. For consultations, we have 3 options. You know what? No, let me not say, because there was a day I said, okay, maybe I should do a promotion, and people called my office next and like, Sisi, I mean, there's a promotion going. Like, no. But I think I probably would do something for my birthday, just so I'll think about it. We'll do something. I think. There's something going. I just said I will probably do something. So am I Sisi, no, okay? The way story goes around, like, Sisi, no. But I think we'll do something. We'll make a post about it. But for right now, we have 3 options: 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, 130, 200, 230. And you can call us, contact us, 334-341-4475. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 is another way you can schedule your consultation. Yeah, TJ. So when we got back last week, they headed to the United States. I needed that because I'd been with the kid, with my kid. Because I make it sound like 2.5 weeks like that. Yes, that's why you have 2 kids, 2 parents. When removing conditions, do you also need biometrics? That is going to be decided by USCIS. So if you've done your biometrics in the previous case, the initial case, and they can reuse your prints, they will let you know. If they're going to schedule for yet another biometrics, they'll let you know as well. Happy new month. Hello, Pell. How are you? A month of blessings for you. Amen. In the Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you. And you as well. Well, USCI still focused on previous divorce decrees. I-360 is being approved, but want to file for green card. Congratulations on your 360 being approved. I don't think that they will bring up your divorce decree issue. If that was an issue, I don't anticipate that generally, not about your case, but I don't anticipate that it will be an issue for the I-485, because the time they should have made it an issue would have been before your vow was approved. And that's because vow is where you have to prove that you were legally free to marry the abuser. And that's part of the requirement for a vow case. You've got to show you have a qualifying relationship. A qualifying relationship is that you were legally free to marry the person, and that relationship created the basis by which you're filing a vow. So if your vow has been approved, I don't anticipate that being a problem. Yes, disclaimer, general information only. For case-specific advice, call 334-341-4475. That's it. Is it normal not to get a prima facie renewed? Hello, Miss Geraldine. How are you? It's not like it's normal. They should automatically send you the extension. However, I've seen from my clients, and I always tell my clients, listen, if you haven't heard from me, it's because I don't have any news for you. But if there's something, because you know your case more than I, in the sense that you're on your case. I have like hundreds of cases. But so if you haven't heard from me, or we haven't heard from USCIS, something is about to expire, send me an email. Between yesterday and today, I've already emailed Vermont Service Center about 5 times regarding prima facie determination extension notices that we haven't received. But for the most part, we usually get the extension sent to us before the expiration of the current one my client has. So if you haven't received it, what I would suggest is, if you have an attorney in your case, I have the lawyer email Vermont Service Center. It's the fastest way for you, and they will respond. They always will respond to an email. It may take them a while, but they will surely respond. Hello, Mr. Taryn, how are you? They will surely respond. Hello, Mr. Shido, how are you? Let's see. Yes, so join our live sessions on Tuesdays, Thursdays, 9 p.m. Central Time, which today, I want to show, I need to show up at 9 p.m. If it's okay. You won't hear the last of it today. I showed up on time. I would thank the Lord. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Now, and you hear me? Y'all have to understand, especially when you do consultations with me, because someone called my office and was just flat out rude. So I had to call them and say, hey, that myself, and I will make sure you understand that can never happen again, especially when you're in the wrong. So if you're calling officer like, hey, I've been waiting for 15 minutes, the attorney did not show up, yada, yada, yada. And then you find out you were actually an hour ahead, and your consultation, your confirmation said, note, your time this is Alabama Central Time. Please make sure you look at that before you call and make a fool of yourself. That's what it is. And yes, they apologize and everything is good now. But I say that to say this: 9 p.m. Central Time, note when you make consultations with us that I am in Alabama Central Time Zone. So for a lot of people, you guys are probably at 10:42 right now. It is 9:42 p.m. in Alabama Central Time Zone. So sometimes most people that I consult with will be in Eastern Time Zone. So if you're living in Alabama, you live in Mississippi, you live in Texas, some parts of Florida, we shift Central Time. If you live in Illinois, but just an example, Illinois and Indiana are just next door, but they don't have the same time zone. Georgia and Central Standard Time in Alabama. So for the most part, a lot of people, if you're in New York, if you are in Georgia, if you are in, whatever the case may be, and conversely, if you are in Pacific time zone, like if you live in the state of Washington, you live in California, you're going to be 2 hours behind. So just bear that in mind. Do you write recommendation letters for national interest waiver? We don't. That you're going to have to get your letters yourself. What we do is write a petition letter. The petition letter that encompasses the whole all the evidence. Yep, general information, nothing specific to anybody's case. Green card holder who has 45 years of age, eligible to apply military. I don't understand your question. How many times do they issue prima facie determination? As many times as the case is still pending. Is it possible to help change the visitor visa status to get work authorization? You have to qualify for a status that makes you eligible to apply for work authorization. Thank you for saying that, because I just remembered another case that has to go out. Yeah. Okay. Hello, Epic Movement. How are you? Epic Movement's birthday is on the 21st as well. August 21st. Yep, that's our day. 45 looks good on you. Thank you. Birthday gives contact. Yep. No kidding. Actually, jokes apart, after the show on Tuesday, people actually contacted League Finger. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. And those of you who couldn't contact her in advance, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒂𝒏𝒕. So just saying. But thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shiru. Maybe another vacation for the no, no. I have to make I have to work so I can make back the money. No, no. And this month I got a lot of court dates. You know what those judges, immigration cases, family law cases, criminal. It's like U.S. citizen filed I-130 processing time for Pakistan. USCIS.gov/processing times. That would give you the information you're looking for. My mom would have given me a reset slap. God's favorite. Absolutely. Well, I guess you're going to have to do you. I probably would do doing me in heaven. Well, that didn't come out right. But you get the drift. In short, just leave American kids alone. The God on the mountain is still a God in the valley. Preach it, epic movement. You better believe it. And you're going to come and give your own testimony too. You're going to say, yes. You got to speak it before you see it. We have to speak it before we see it. You've got to speak it. Once you believe it here, God will just believe you will be manifested. And just don't let anybody make you lose faith. Listen, I've seen and I've seen things being denied, and I don't understand why they were denied, but that doesn't change who God is. You know, disappointments, quote unquote, do not change who God is. It remains God all by himself. And he will do things that you will understand that it's not anything that you know how to do, but because he has decided to make his glory known. And so that's all we can keep doing. People head over to League Finger. What are the requirements for VAWA? You need to sit down with a lawyer to discuss that, or just Google VAWA and you'll be able to see that. Sisi Lawyers is on here every Tuesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Central Time. That's the goal every time, 9 p.m. That's truly the goal. Boyo Marshall, that as at 9 p.m. go on. That's yet to be seen. Let's see. Let's see. But that's the goal. Hello, Finest Shandy. Are you feeling much better now? How long can someone wait for asylum interview? 200 years? I'm trying to be funny, but I have people who have their green cards and we're writing letters to asylum offices and withdrawing the asylum application. That's the truth. I have someone who has their green card and we just literally today, even with their fees, okay, it's right there, got their C8 that we were requested to renew like 200 years ago. It's like, I am Samuel. Hello, how are you? Do you help file for work permit for LPN license holder, ma'am? You have to qualify for something. What? It's not just being an LPN. What do you have a job offer? Are you? What is it that you qualify? Just not work permit because you're an LPN. What is the work permit going to be based on? What status is that going to be attached to? Rude and nasty. The most no lawyer. Yeah, you can't. No, you can't mess with my staff. No, you can't. I mean, it's that is dignity in treating people the way you want to be treated. And it's just the decent thing to do. Even if you're, do you know how many times I get just really, really like I want to get nasty with someone at USPS because you didn't deliver. Even today it happened. But then I have to remember that the person I want to be talking to, it's not their fault. They don't even know anything about me. They don't know who I am. Why would I take my frustration out on anybody? And you can't call and start shouting at people that you want to get help with, and then you find out you're in the wrong. You gotta treat people the way you want to be treated. I received 3 private facials before I was approved. Yeah, they're going to keep giving you private facials until you get approved. So there's no maximum. It's going to continue until your valid petition is approved. Do you have to file your asylum independently if you and your spouse are divorced and you never been interviewed? Generally, you will have to. Yeah, fine as January. How are you feeling now? I hope you're. 𝐸𝐴𝐥𝐸𝐿𝐵. My birthday gift is the mama. Your birthday just lick finger. um. Gifted, thanks for sharing your testimony as well, and congratulations on your approval. Is it normal to just receive one prima facie since 2021 of filing vow? It's not abnormal, but you should have received extension. If you have a lawyer in your case, ask them. And I'm not trying to be funny, because I there was a case that I took over, and she has her green card now. By the time I took it over, she had a previous attorney who told her they never sent prima facie determination for her in a case. We did a FOIA request. FOIA request is how you can get your records direct from USCIS. And in the FOIA request, there were 3 prima facie determinations that were mailed to the attorney's office. And she never knew. She needed to have applied for financial aid. She needed to have applied for Medicaid. That would have been a tremendous help the 3 years she was waiting. She didn't get that. So if you have a lawyer, ask them. If they don't have it, then if you have a lawyer, let them contact USCIS on your behalf. If you don't have a lawyer, then you have to physically write to the Vermont Service Center, ask them about your case. I will send you an email after this live. No worries, Epic. I'll be looking out for that. 45 and glowing sausage rolls. I love this. 45 and glowing sausage rolls, meat pies, yummy. Lick finger. I'm telling you, you need to pay Miss Bena and Elena Sanctuary, because this ladies, I'm telling you, I'm gonna bring both ladies on one day. Y'all will not even go to work because we'll shut it down. I love my girls. Can a conditional green card holder still get their citizenship after divorcing their petitioner? Generally, yes, but just sit down with a lawyer and talk about your case. I'm not even going to add more. Oh shit! I gotta love this, ladies. I gotta love this, ladies. Oh my goodness. How long does it take to approve for I-45 after vow approval, please? Depends on a lot of things. When you filed it, what field office is going to be sent to, if it's going to be sent for an interview, if did you send in your medical? Yes. You still had the ER yesterday. Oh, I pray for strength and healing. I filed for I-45-765, I-131, concurrent filing, but I just received damaging for 45-765, not for I-131. Most of the time, your I-131 is not going to be listed on biometrics. And keep in mind, once they get your fingerprint is applied to your alien number. Scanned in is applied to your alien number. So if they need it, they can always get it from that. I always say this, you don't have to know someone before being nice. Being humble and nice comes with blessings in different ways. You have no idea. You have no idea. And that's how I raise my sons. You don't have to know somebody to be nice. Because I tell my kids, when you step out of this house, 2 things you have to remember. You represent God, you represent your mother. Trust me, God will forgive you before I do, because I will knock your teeth out. Listen, there's no threatening your kids is not a crime, so that's good. Like, so you better make sure that God will forgive you, but because you just never know. Wherever you go, you've got to let people. There's going to be someone you're going to impact their lives, and there's this thing. I'm sure not to sound cliche, but like people don't usually remember what you say or what you said to them. Is they remember how you made them feel. And that's very true. We can't please everybody. There's some people that can never be pleased. That's just how life is. But as long as you know that you've done your part, and if no one is above everybody, if you've done wrong, just be humble enough to say, I'm sorry. Doesn't take anything. Now, Epic movement, you can attest to this. Or anyone who is a Leo baby. If you have your horoscope that is Leo, meaning you were born between July 23rd and August 23rd. Can like let you apologize. You know, we are work in progress. But that's the one thing about me that and conversely, when we apologize, we mean it from the bottom of the heart. When I tell you I'm sorry, that listen, it doesn't come easy. It's like okay, but I don't like to apologize to people, so I try not to even offend you to start with. Because then, if I don't apologize, I cannot sleep. So it doesn't take anything to be nice. Is it possible not to receive a response from immigration court after 6 months of filing the prosecutorial discretion? You're not receiving a response from the immigration court. You're receiving a response from the DHS office, and then they would decide whether or not they would exercise that, and then you guys will go to court. It's not abnormal. There's the case actually. Thank you for bringing that up. That I've been waiting 5 months. I have to send another email to follow up with them. I have applied for asylum in 2017. I haven't been called for an interview. What is your suggestion? I said it earlier. If you have something, a grant by which you can apply for to expedite your interview, then you can try that. If not, you're not the only one waiting. It's ridiculous at this point. It is what we're seeing. Okay. Sisi Lawyer, you're the reason why I have a pending vow. Watching your videos made me brave to file. Oh, and I pray, especially with this miracle today. I use that as a point of contact to your life, and I pray that it works out, that you will come back and give testimony of God's goodness in your life. But why are African mothers this way? They begin to think every female born in Africa was injected with African mother manual at birth. We are who we are. Just like he just said, guess you're just going to do you. Yes. Yeah. There was a time in my life I realized, because growing up, I was like, you know how you're like, I can never do this to my kid. And then you become a mother. And then it hits you one and it goes, and you go, I have become my mother. I've literally become my mother. Yeah. There was a day hit me, I was like, I'll be damned. I'm my mother's child. So it is what it is. Because there's some things my mom says and I hear them mom say, so like, yeah, like, if you go to school and someone has 100% and you come home with 96, I choose to my kids. The day TJ, so he came back home, he had a 96 in grammar. And I said, hey, did anybody in your class have 100? And he says, yes. I was like, so how many heads does that person have? He goes, what do you mean? I'm asking you a simple question. How many heads does that person who got 100 have? Of course he has one head. Oh, of course. Okay. So how many brains does he have in his head? One. What happened that he can get 100, you can get 100, you got a 96? Did the school cat eat the 4 points? My kid was looking at me like, what the heck is she talking about? Looking at her like, I was like, what happened to the 4 points? And this kid, y'all pray for me. This kid, I'm just glad Tia wasn't a girl, because one of us would be in jail. He turned around and says, well, let me ask you this, Mom. When you were in school, did you ever get a 95 and above in your classes? Huh? Let's move on. Let's just move on. My mom just admired your hair. Tell her I said thank you, Miss Raya. Yo, I'm not even kidding. Oyibo people are obsessed with my hair. I'm not even kidding you. Everywhere I went to in London, it was as if there was a white guy that was just, pasted somewhere, like just waiting to say, what is that? Is that your hair? It got to a point. My mom was there too, because she was like, and I'm like, okay, what? I don't get it. I don't get it. There's literally a guy at the airport there's a guy on the train staring. I was like, it's just a style. It gets the hair out of my. It's one less thing I have to worry about in the morning getting ready. But tell your mama I said thank you. Yeah, do they have two heads? Like, Oh, yeah, but hey, that's my signature right there. See, you know how a Nigerian divorce are to use. That's why I'm kind of scared because it's part of the requirement for the green card. Um, Maybe you want to do a consultation and see. Um, we'll try your hairstyle. I'm telling you, it's okay. Let's see. Can my case be reopened at BIA based on via prima facie determination? What cases at BIA? What was it? Was it an asylum case that was denied at the immigration court and also affirmed? What exactly was it? So it just depends. Okay, let's God's time. I did answer a question. Maybe you're just coming in. So Ajara, what's your question? If a parent overstayed their visa, can the children travel if they have visas? I'm not sure I understand. Travel from where? To the US, to another country, or from another country to the US? What, if you can expatiate on that? My card expires 3rd August. So today, the received I-750. Oh, that's what reminds me. I have to get my client their extension notices. On July 6th, when will I get the receipt? I can't answer that question. I filed for removal of conditions. Okay, that's still you. Please, can you talk about your case of VAL that was approved after 3 months? It wasn't 3 months, it was 5 months. But I don't know what else to talk. I don't know what to talk. I really don't. I don't know what to talk about besides the fact that we filed it in March of 2023 and it was approved today. And there's nothing to talk about other than God shuts you up sometimes to say, you know what? And for someone who had gone through it, I don't know. I cannot say it's anything I did, but I can say that it's all for God's glory to be seen, and that this man is just beyond excited and just even doesn't know how to feel. I've have cases still pending since 2021. We're just waiting to have cases that but you just never know, and that's why for me, it's not anything about any como or should you anybody, Lord, no. It's also about God deciding that this is the time to favor somebody and somebody else's time will come. And I just was an instrument in that. Okay. I have filed. Okay, I think you just asked that question on Instagram about the biometrics. Okay. Hello, Mel. We need to talk urgently. Go on our website and schedule a consult. I can tell you I am completely booked. Like I was booked 2 weeks out. So I would say the earliest time you see on my calendar is what it is. There's nothing that we can do to move anything around because a lot of people have asked. There's just nothing. Someone said open up your weekend and we can pay double your consultation fee. No, for instance, this weekend TJ has a soccer tournament that takes precedence over anything else. I'm going to be a soccer mom this weekend. That's what my weekend is going to be about. No exceptions about that. Doesn't mean your cases are not important. It just means that I am a mother first. That's just the way life is for me. But go, committee, go on our website or call our office tomorrow when we open, or text Lydia. Lydia usually helps me with the live, so she probably would not respond until we're done or tomorrow, given the time. But we'll get, if you go on our website, it's very straightforward to get the link. You set up your own consultation yourself. If I file for a Senate and I haven't done an interview and I get married to a U.S. citizen, can I file for a married-based green card? Generally, yes. Okay, let's see. All right, so that's the one. When you went in, I'm assuming you mean when you sent in your medical with your I-45, what happens next? Wait for them to decide whether or not you're going to be getting called for an interview. If not, they will approve your case generally. I'm just talking general. I don't know about your case. Okay. All right. I think we got through. A daughter want to file for her. Let me go back to your. Okay. Let me see where your question started from. My friend applied for U.S. passport, which was not hers. Technically, she bought it. Okay. She bought birth certificates from a U.S. citizen and she got caught but never being processed to jail. Okay. It's been 15 years now, and her daughter wants to file for her. Is it possible for green card? Her daughter can file for her. The question is, will she be able to apply for, if she's in the country, she may need a waiver. It just depends. That's something you want to sit down with a lawyer to. This is not a yes or no. Yes, this is what she has to know. That's not the kind of question you ask. This is general information forum. That's something your friend wants to sit down with a lawyer and discuss. That's not something you just sit down and try to do yourself. My kids are not in the States yet. I have pending I-130 for them. Can I get them visa to visa? You cannot get them visa. They have to apply for themselves. But if you're asking, can they apply for visitor visa and visit you while their case is pending? They can try, but you have to indicate whether or not you have an immigrant petition filed for you. And that may be a factor in them deciding whether or not to give them a visa. Let's see. I've been trying to talk with you since, but no answer. God's time. What is your question? I'm not really sure what the problem is. What is your question? Write your question just like everybody's doing. We need to talk urgently. Okay. Already answered that. For five, okay, I already answered that. It's taking much longer. I already answered that. Okay, so all right. I think we've gotten through. What kind of documents does USCIS ask when you have a court? That's very case specific. You have to know what your case is. Please, I need your number for consultation. 334-341-4475. I applied both work permit, but it didn't come, and I went for a green card interview. Will I get approved? I can't tell you whether or not you're going to get approved. That's something that you would have to wait to see, because I don't know about your case. Let's see. Can you get a green card approved while you work? Can you get your green card approved while your work permit hasn't arrived yet? That happens all day, every day. It actually, I have a guy whose green card was approved in April. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, yes, April. His EAD just came in today. I'm not kidding you guys. I have it right here. His EAD just came in today. Sometimes USCIS catches that and they close the case and say, hey, the applicant got immigration benefits in another way or something similar to that. But they didn't do that. So we just got his EAD. Approval notice came in yesterday. The EAD came in today. He's got his green card since April. So, yeah, so it happens. Okay. Can the kids travel to the U.S. from another country if the parents overstayed in the U.S.? If there's nothing stopping them and they didn't overstay, one person's, I don't know how to answer that, but that's just a very broad question without knowing the specifics of that. Let's see. Okay. So I think if your question is not in the comment section, I'm not going to go through messages to get to, you have to put your question in the comment section. What documents do I need to file for my N400 after 5 years in divorce? Sit down with a lawyer, or you can Google that. I don't talk about documents, especially when that is a case-specific kind of thing. Can you get biometrics done with I-130 pending? Why does it take so long to get your work permit? It's you. Professor convinced, but it's USCIS. That, yeah. Okay. Hello, I have a question. If I'm going to Haiti with an I-551 stamp, will I have problems to come back to the United States? Generally, you shouldn't have any issues, but I cannot talk to your specific case because I don't know about your case. But generally, if you have an I-551 stamp, which is the equivalent of saying you are a green card holder and your case is still pending, it has not been denied, and the stamp is still valid, it has not expired, generally, you should be able to come back in the country. Okay. All right, people. I think that's about it. So let's see. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Can you get traditional marriage while that is pending? Thank you, Miss Chrissy. No. Read my lips, hear me loud and clear. No. Traditional marriage, just like you what you said, emphasis on marriage. It is a customary marriage. It's a valid marriage for immigration purposes. That would nullify your VAWA case. Looking at your law firm, how long do you think I-765 C9 based VAWA cases is being approved? I filed in January and still waiting. That's not longer. I have some cases that we filed in November. We're still waiting on. USCIS.gov/processing time. There is no C9 VAWA category. It's C9 adjustment of status. Everything is the same. It's grouped on the processing time applies to C9 generally. There's nothing that differentiates a VAWA C9 and a regular case C9. No, it's C9 is C9. What is the processing time for that? Can I apply for VAWA after I get my 2 years green card? Oh, good question. So one of the constitutions I had today, you have to understand that there's VAWA green card process for someone who's never had a green card or who's had a green card, but for whatever reason, that's got to be abandoned or it's going to be renounced and you have to start all over again. Then there is a VAWA process for someone who has a 2-year green card. So the first one is someone who doesn't have any green card or you have something that makes it necessary for you to start all over again. You file an I-360. You're filing from the beginning, from scratch to get a 10-year green card. If you have a 2-year green card, meaning you're a conditional resident, you are not filing a full-blown VAWA. You're filing an I-751 abuse ground. They're both provided for under the VAWA Act, but the requirements are different. You're proving the same thing. You're just proving the same thing with different forms and different situations. So just make sure you understand that. All right. Once again, if you need to contact our office, 334-341-4475. That is our contact number. And y'all just have to understand that I know based on what I've seen, seeing God at work and at different times of our lives, knowing that everyone's case is different, everyone's story is, we're not running the same race. And I tell my clients that too. We can file 10 cases at the same time. It's possible, which happens 99% of the time, that those 10 cases will be processed at different paces at different times. That is just life. We run different races. We've got to stick with our own time. You've got to live according to the clock God has given you. If you're minding somebody else's clock, you are delaying moving forward in your own case or in your own life, whatever the case may be. I'm telling you that I've seen this over and over again, where there's some things that are just profound and you just understand that is nothing. God just used you to get the person where they needed to be at the time that he intended for them to get there. even though other people may have started that same journey way earlier than they did. But that is just how God works. Our time frames are completely different. I remember, coming to the country with my siblings back in 2002. It's going to be 21. It was actually 21 years on Monday that I've been in the United States. My siblings, my younger siblings, Bankole and Simisala, they came in with my mom and they won the DV lottery. I came in on a visitor visa. I could not come in on DV lottery because I was over 21. And I had to learn that because I was looking at my siblings. They came in, they already had their immigrant visas. 3 weeks later, they got their green cards. And I had to go through going from visitor visa to H1 to J1 to J2. Y'all don't even understand my story. I'm telling you. And almost giving up at some point. Then H4 and moved to rural health, Mississippi with my ex-husband then because of green card to stay. It took me 2002, 2014. So it took me 7 years to get a green card that my siblings got within weeks. It took me 12 years to become a citizen that they did in 5 years. My point is this. Their timing was the way God intended it to be. I had to go through my journey. And I thank God I went through that journey. Even there were times I wanted to give up. But I look back now and I thank God because I have a different appreciation. Whenever I leave this country, I go out and I'm coming back. That thing that didn't come so easy, I appreciate it more. And I know because of that, it allows me to be able to empathize with other people and represent people the way I do. Because I get it. I get it. It wasn't given to me on a platter of gold. So I understand what it feels like to actually have that green card, to actually become a citizen. And I say that to say this. Their story, their journeys were shorter. Mine was much longer and it had a lot of detours, but I wouldn't change a thing because God knows exactly what he was doing. So let's understand that whatever the situation is, you've been waiting 2 years for your voucher to be approved. Someone got theirs approved in 5 months. You've been waiting 4 years. God understands God knows what he's doing. Understand that. God knows what he's doing. Your blessing would not come earlier than it's supposed to, and it will not come a day later than it should. And I thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week.